Happy holidays, everybody. I'm Beth O'Reilly, and this is our final installment of Inspired by Design. And I'm really excited to show you a different take on designing with a different kind of water source. So a lot of people are designing with water tubes, and I've got a way that I'm going to show you that's really kind of neat and innovative to design with water tubes. We're going to cover the mechanics of this up, and we're going to use a drill actually to fashion our water holders kind of similar to this that will be used in our design. So first, what you need to do to create your water tube holder is I've taken clusters of wires that I'm going to tape around my water tube. And the only reason why I'm using a cluster is because the wire that I happen to have on hand is not a very strong gauge wire, so I'm just using clusters of it. And then we can just make a couple of tape strips and have them handy. You can do all of these ahead of time. If you get a system going, it's kind of a process. You can kind of get into just making the water tubes, and it's kind of fun. So I'm going to tape one on each side, and then I'm going to go the opposite side. So basically I have four corners or four points that go around, evenly around the water tube. And I'm securing them with anchor tape, just as simple as that. And then the next part of it will be, we're going to tape that together. And that's going to be a nice sturdy structure to then insert into our drill so that we can do quick winding technique with, I'm using yarn, but you can use any type of material that you want to. I actually fashioned the yarn holder out of a paper towel holder. So, I mean, you know, get inventive. And so we fit this right into the drill, the hyacinth stake, right, goes right into the drill, and we tighten it. And you want to make sure that it's spinning the right way ahead of time. And it's a very easy process. We're just going to let this spin. And now what you can do at this point is if you want to make like different notches and decorative areas, you can do that by just letting it gather in a specific area. So I'm going to make just a couple little divots just to add some texture and interest. And then that basically covers our mechanic. I'm going to just take a little spot of hot glue just to hold that in place. When you're using hot glue and you don't want to hurt your finger, I know it seems a little weird, but you know, you lick your finger and pat your glue down. It works great. I use it all the time for like doing boutonnieres and little things so that I don't burn my finger. So now I'm going to, you can see I've added some decorative wire on here just to give it a little extra pizzazz. So I'm going to go ahead and just add that element on as well. And I've got two different kinds of bullion. I'll do one at a time. As you can see, it's a huge time saver. I've done about 12 of these, and you know, you can do it by hand, but this just goes so much quicker. So here we have our pre-done water source that we're going to now create a parallel design that I hope you guys are totally excited about. So it's the holidays, so I have a little bit of accoutrements, a little bit of ornaments that are going to go with it. I'm doing a white and green palette. I'm going to use a 27-inch Oasis raquette to build my parallel design on. So since this is the holiday season, I'm going to cover this raquette completely with cedar foliage. And I'm just going to cover it and wind bullion around it just to cover up the base. Now we have a great, simple, clean base for our parallel design. Now I have these in 3 different sizes. There's a tall, a medium, and a short, and that's gonna help us get some variation in height here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert these right into the foam. And we do wanna make sure that we get them as straight as possible. And the reason why I use that hyacinth stake is for stability on these so that they are strong. So next we're going to use equisetum, and we're just going to mimic the same parallel design that we are creating. And I'm probably going to have to poke a few holes in here to get the equisetum to go in. A lot of people don't know this, but equisetum actually will hold water in these sections here. So I'm going to actually use the equisetum as another water source. Pretty cool. We're going to put flowers in there. For a little more interest, I'm going to add midollino sticks all throughout this. And for extra interest, because it's the holiday season, we're going to just do some ornaments. And these are styrofoam, so I'm just feeding them through. And then I'm poking a hole in the equisetum and kind of letting it follow a natural curve into another piece of equisetum. And I will just continue this process until I've kind of created a really nice grid work. I'm also going to do some of the midollino upright. And again, I can bend it and feed it through a piece of equisetum and just create a really fun grid work. The basic structure of this design is in place now. It's kind of like an armature, and again, our water source is the water tubes. And I'm just gonna start putting some flowers in. I've got mini calla lilies, and there's a trick to mini calla lilies besides just massaging them to get them to bend and move in the direction that you want. If you very carefully just peel back a tiny layer of skin, they become a lot more flexible and pliable. And you can work them into the design. Just nice and flowy. And next I'm going to work in just a little bit of jasmine vine. Just for some movement. Some beautiful ranunculus we're going to add next. Our equisetum that's tucked in there that we've added water to as our nature's water tube, and just add these in. And one more element, the viburnum, because as we know as designers, we're never done until we're done. We're gonna add some viburnum. My final installment, Inspired by Design. I hope everyone has a happy holidays, and I can't wait for our new designers, Jerome and Sean, to take over and keep inspiring us with awesome blossoms. Have a great year.